I went to the window when I peeked outside. It was a girl about 5'4". She said she's...
All right, welcome into another episode of the Captain of Madden Show. Coming at you here February 13th. Another Friday has rolled over, Captain. This is Mike Madden on my side of things. The Captain, Michael Corby, on his side. Captain, what's new on your side of things?
I think I'm finally starting to thaw out. We had a couple of days here with some sun and above freezing temperatures. I think I can feel my legs again. This is magical.
That's good. Well, I'm glad that the winter is thawing out for you and it's starting to happen.
Believe it or not, a man my size, I can finally see my shadow.
So awesome. Good. Are you predicting 6 more weeks of winter though, or?
I'm predicting 6 more weeks of less food because the shadow's pretty big. I think I overdid it at the Super Bowl party.
Oh boy! All right. Well, let's put away our snow shovels and take out our celebration horns because it's our big anniversary week here at the Captain of Madden Show. We teased it last week because we did surpass one calendar year of episodes, and we've got a doozy for you guys this week. We're opening the coffers up, the entire Off the Cuff Stuff family, in a big crossover set of episodes, and this is the first part of those set of episodes. The Captain and I would be happy to welcome my tag team partner on the Dropkick Basement. First time on this show, Tommy Schultz. Tommy, how you be?
Fellas. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. It's we've been in the planning stages for this crossover episode for about a month now, a little longer than a month. But we're happy to have you on. And before we get to the topic at hand or anything, I think we're running close to. I think we're at our, or just beyond our not 1 year anniversary, but I think maybe our 3rd year anniversary over in the Dropkick Basement. For those who don't listen to the Dropkick Basement, first of all, shame on you. But Tom, how do you feel like the Dropkick Basement has gone and grown since we brought you on board there?
I do think that things have ramped up a bit. We have our signature episodes down nowadays, and I think that we've been hitting on all cylinders recently, and I look forward to continuing on and growing the show. Yeah. We do have our fun over in the basement, and this coming Monday, which comes out. What is it? The 16th. Ooh, boy. My calendar's staring at me, and yet I still looked 1 week beyond the current week. But the 16th, our next episode of Dropkick Basement will feature the Captain as part of the lineup there as well. So
this is reminding me of when CSI Las Vegas would have a case and it would trace it to New Orleans, and then they would have that crossover where the cast, and they would have back-to-back episodes. This is crazy. Or a Law and Order episode where SVU gets involved with the other guys.
It's
This is crazy.
It is. This is exactly what that is. This is
At any point, are you going to surprise us and bring Ice-T on and make this a whole crossover?
Yeah. No, I'm going to resurrect Richard Belzer and bring him. He does have a wrestling tie-in, by the way.
We're going to do the news.
Yes. Yeah, right. It's like the old Stern show where we do the news with them. But yeah, this is this is exciting stuff. We've got we specifically prepared this topic with Tom in mind. Naturally, Tom could probably participate in a ton of the topics that we would discuss regularly on the Captain of Madden Show: music, sports, TV, lifestyle, whatever in general. But we wanted to make Tom feel welcome. So this week, a staple and a signature of the the podcast on the Off the Cuff Stuff Network is our dream teams. And this week we have decided to run down the dream team of professional wrestlers as actors. And that includes acting in Hollywood projects. So whether they're movies, TV, voiceover, that's really what we're looking for. We're not necessarily looking for the people that are like really good, like portraying their character on a WWE show or an AEW show or, wrestling promotions in the past. We're looking to see the ones that can branch out and become stars, and those that have become somewhat notable in Hollywood over the course of their career. So Tom, since you are the guest, we're going to start with you at the number 12 spot on our bench.
Number 12 of the pro wrestlers turned actors, or however you want to phrase that, is what most people would consider number one in the all-time wrestling space, and that would be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Now,
solid choice.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is arguably the biggest draw in the history of pro wrestling, but maybe not so much at the box office.
Okay, all right.
However, he does have quite a bit of notable roles, and his first venture into this acting field was a voice actor as himself in Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
One of my all-time favorite TV shows
Right.
as a kid. Just Stone Cold Steve Austin just ripping people's heads off.
Yeah.
While Judge Mills Lane officiated every match. Incredible TV show. And I think aside from Mills Lane, Stone Cold Steve Austin is probably like the most infamous Celebrity Deathmatch character from the show.
Well, they didn't they had people doing impersonations of all the other voices, right? It wasn't
correct.
Yeah,
But when you think of Celebrity Deathmatch, I feel like you think of Judge Mills Lane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then there's all the other people that got decapitated, run over.
It's funny when you say when you say a sentence like when you think of Celebrity Deathmatch, which I don't think of Celebrity Deathmatch, so I'm at loss.
I think of it quite often.
All right.
I think of the my all-time favorite one was the Eddie Vedder versus Scott Stapp from Creed.
Oh, all
and
right.
Vedder, I think, reached in and grabbed his throat and said, "I want my voice back," and pulled out his
Yeah. It's a clever show. It's a clever show.
It was funny.
Yeah. But we know Steve dipped his toe in Hollywood as well.
Oh, of course. So I would say like the first feature length film that he was a part of was the Longest Yard remake, the Adam Sandler Longest Yard remake, which I know, as we were talking about earlier, doesn't get the love I think it should get. I think it was a pretty good remake of an original movie, and it was just star-studded. And Stone Cold was like I guess he would, of the pro wrestlers, because there were quite a few in that movie, he was the most featured, and he was like the most, I guess you would say, like the most main character of all of the wrestlers in that movie, being one of the prison guards. I think he did a good job in that movie, and he was pretty funny for being a piece of shit. But he was also like a huge piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he did a good job. Like, it wasn't, he's not going to win any sort of awards for it. But for his first venture into film, I would say he did a decent job.
Yeah, he pulled it off.
Well, I mean, in a way, I mean, the Stone Cold Steve Austin like wrestling like personality is kind of one of those, like, he is kind of a dick. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of he's very popular and stuff, but there is like dick qualities to him, like the way that he would like go around, like his, oh, you candy ass and blah blah blah. So it does kind of come, like, for him to be playing a prison guard, it's not that far fetched.
No.
And the dudes I mean, the thing that I admit in our before we started, when we were talking about this, that like Adam Sandler gets a lot of shit for the movies that he does. Plus, like, there's a lot of people that love the original Longest Yard, like, as a movie. So when you're going to remake that, it's always going to have critiques. But the best thing about it was that, yeah, you had wrestlers on there as prison. A lot of them Goldberg was actually on the prisoner side.
Inmate, yeah.
But they're all in shape. They all looked like football players. And then either the actors, and then Michael Irving was in it.
Yeah, football, right? LT.
Oh, yeah.
It was like believable that these guys were out there hitting. Like, it wasn't like okay, none of these guys look in shape. Like Ed Lautner, sorry, doesn't look like a quarterback, but
right.
like some of the guys on there, like, it wasn't really obvious that, like, when they switched over to like a shot of two guys hitting each other, that it was clearly obvious that those were stuntmen. Like, I'm sure a lot of them probably did a lot of their own stuff in there. So I think that was one of the things that for the remake, like the football scenes were kind of believable, because you can actually believe that Stone Cold, I'm sure, probably played football at some point in his life.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I'm sure some of the other guys did too. So they look believable as football players. They look believable as prison guards. And like I said, Stone Cold kind of had like that, there's always like an air of douchiness or dickness that a prison guard you would think would have. And he kind of has it in his persona.
Yeah. That's, I think that's important also, not just that he showed off the comedy chops. And like, yes, of course, if you watch him on Monday Night Raw in the late 90s and the early 2000s, you're like, yeah, Steve Austin, like, he can get you to laugh. Translating that into a film role isn't necessarily a guarantee. And not only did he do that, like, in portions of The Longest Yard, he went on and he did a couple other Sandler movies. Like, he's made like pop-up cameos. I think at least in one of the Grown Ups movies.
I think
he's
the
part
second
of it.
one he was in.
Yeah. So like, yeah, he's got a little bit of versatility. He's the biggest name, and so he's recognizable on screen. So it's like, it's not like too far fetched to say like, oh crap, like look at Steve Austin's here, like, and he's gonna do a good job in whatever movie he's gonna be part of. So he's good to have as our 12th man on the bench. So let's pivot, Captain. I'll let you reveal the next man on our dream team.
Oh yeah. For the next 3 minutes, this man is mine.
All right.
The Macho Man Randy Savage was. Look, you guys are. I'll say this now, and I'll probably say it throughout the whole episode. You guys are the experts when it comes to wrestling, but there were millions of other kids in the '80s. I did kind of get wrapped up in what was then the WWF. And Macho Man to me was kind of like the opposite side of like, not that he was a bad guy, but he was like, if you weren't really a huge Hogan fan, like Macho Man was probably your guy.
Yeah.
He had a really cool attitude. He had woman.
Or he had Elizabeth.
He had or Elizabeth. I'm sorry. Yeah. He had like the voice. His promos were always really. Were really good, really funny. And that translated to the outside world. How many, even I've never eaten one in my life, but my God, anytime that I'm hungry, I'm always saying like, let's snap into a Slim Jim. Like,
of course you are.
Just him, his character. I mean, he did tons of voiceover work. He made a lot of appearances in shows and stuff, as a lot of times it was as oh wow, it's Macho Man Randy Savage. Like he just happened to be walking along the beach in an episode of Baywatch or something like that.
Right. Yes.
But this little tidbit alone should get him on the list and justifiable. He was in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay. Wow. Well.
And his character name, I'm not shitting you, is Whitelaw Lundgren.
Whitelaw Lundgren? I don't like that at all. Oh, no. Wow.
So I don't even have to watch the episode. I can tell you what the whole episode is about just by that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would say his most memorable non-being hint, like I would say his most memorable, like what everybody would know is for his 5-minute or 6-minute spot in the first Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first Tobey Maguire's.
Yeah.
He plays a guy named Bonesaw, I think his name.
Bonesaw McGraw.
Character.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was Macho Man. Like he still had had the attitude and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came on screen, like when they were like, "Oh, dude, like he's got the in the ring with like," I remember being in the theater and just like there was like that. There was a certain percentage of the audience who didn't know who he was, but the percentage of the people that knew who he was like, oh, like, and everybody said the same thing. Oh yeah, like it's like
yeah.
Plus, you got to give him a little bit of a nod. That the dude was a baseball player. He bounced around in the minors, had a cup of coffee with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
So, we're looking for people that like not only kind of did stuff in the ring, actually were known in the ring, but did stuff outside of the ring. Shit, man, the guy got a cup of coffee with the St. Louis Cardinals, so he's always going to get points in my books.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. That is an episode of if we go in the archives, Dropkick Basement, we do talk about athletes that crossed over to pro wrestling and vice versa in certain circumstances. He's again, a lot of it is the voice, and the voice stands out. If you needed a tough guy on a cartoon, I feel like in the 90s or 2000s, like he was a good go-to. Like if you needed a maniac that was like a henchman for like, I think he was on like an episode of like Powerpuff Girls or, something like that. Like, so yeah,
I like how you're like, oh, he might've been on an episode of, you watched it.
He probably was. Yeah, he probably was. And I probably watched it. But no, I mean, I think the thing that gets him big notoriety outside of wrestling, obviously you mentioned, is the Slim Jim ads and what he was bringing to that. And that's obvious that this, the role in the Spider-Man movie was just tailor-made for him. So he's a good addition to the team. I like it. Let's move to the next man on the bench. If this was really a basketball team like the 1992 Dream Team was, this would be our center, but alas, he is not. Let's go with the Big Show. Paul White, no more BS, as he's currently known. Key roles, he will always be remembered. And again, right here, Adam Sandler brings us the gift that keeps on giving. Big Show was in the movie Waterboy, Captain Insano, which, if anybody has seen the movie, remembers the parts of it where the Waterboy himself would be try to get himself psyched up, and that would be his target. Would be Captain Insano would whip him into a frenzy. But in general, like not just the Captain Insano segments in that movie, but I think the Big Show, in my opinion, like he's got great comedy timing. So whenever he shows up on something, like Rocky hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live, like at the height of Rockmania, before WrestleMania 2000. And Big Show, Big Show, Triple H, Mick Foley all made little cameos a couple times during the episode. And Big Show had some like pretty decent like comedic timing and like showed that, oh, okay, like, you know, he kind of gets this, and he understands like there's an acting element to being part of this. So he would go on through, you know, I guess the better part of the last 25 years, you know, kind of in and out of like he had his own movie. He had his own sitcom that was on Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of like, and it's, you know, listen, it's kind of juvenile comedy. It's played to like the younger wrestling fans, but for somebody that has a presence like that, a giant, and to still be able to show a little ass, and not literal ass, but like in the way of like making fun of yourself or self-deprecating. I think he's got a lot of comedy chops. He's great on talk shows. If you've ever seen him like interviewed on Conan O'Brien, or I think that's the only one who had him on. Maybe he did a Kimmel back in the 2000s, but he's like, he goes with the flow. Like I think he shows off a lot of his acting sensibility, and it's kind of funny that, you know, somebody who, Tom, you'll agree with me, not the greatest in the ring, but could be argued as like kind of a more valuable guy away from, and in like acting segments or commercials or whatever it may be. Like, I think he proved himself in those aspects.
Absolutely. And like if you need an imposing figure,
mm-hmm.
he would fit well into that too.
Oh, sure.
Especially in the film world.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's not, you're not looking at this like laundry list of a ton of, you know, appearances that he's made, but I think he's made the most of the appearances that he's been part of. So the Big Show makes our list. The next guy up, I'll back to back on this one because I advocate for I think there should be a special category at the upcoming Oscars where they do like a Lifetime Achievement Award for Terry Funk as an actor. I swear to God, Terry Funk, not only is he one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time, but I think he was the first, other than maybe Hogan, he was like the first actor that you saw in a movie and you were like, most people would be blink and you miss it. But those who know exactly what Terry Funk's all about. And so he's going to make our bench. Two key roles. Of course, he is Rucker in Over the Top. He was very good friends with Sylvester Stallone. And he ended up being Rucker in Over the Top, one of the henchmen for the evil grandfather. Do we want to call him the evil grandfather in Over the Top? Loja's character. And then he was also one of the henchmen in Morgan, I think his name was, in Roadhouse. One of the henchmen of Brad Wesley. Could certainly take and give out an ass kicking, and also look, again, very intimidating standing behind the main bad guy in both of these movies, and get himself, waved into action, take a few, punches. Always had a good, like, wild left hand. So that working punch was used in stunt action as well. And it's just, it used to be such a delight to see, like, the credits. I'm right about that. It was Terry Funk. Yes. Oh my God. I recognize Terry Funk from this role or this, this cameo. Fun fact. Here's your fun fact on Terry Funk. During 1985, he was cast in ABC's Western drama Wild Side. And he co-starred with Meg Ryan. And this is one of Meg Ryan's first acting jobs away from like soap operas. So she got cast in '85 on this short-lived. I think it lasted like 6 episodes. A Western called Wild Side. So, thoughts on Terry Funk as an actor? Captain, I go to you first.
Well, I always wondered how it worked out for Bart in Barber College for Morgan.
Yeah.
Since he was fired as a bouncer and then got his ass kicked as a henchman. Spoiler alert, Brad Wesley doesn't make a sequel of Roadhouse. So I'm wondering if he actually took Dalton's advice and went to Barber College.
To Barber College. That's a good point. Tom, do you have a favorite Terry Funk role? Or anything that I didn't mention?
It's probably his short cameo in The Ringer.
Oh, is that the
Johnny Knoxville vehicle?
That was a problematic film.
Only slightly nowadays.
Yeah, wasn't he like a mentor or something in that? Like,
I think he meets him at the bar, and he kind of teaches him how to fit in with the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Old Terry Funk. A triple threat, by the way, Terry Funk. He could wrestle, he can act, and then as those of you who were listening intently on the intro, he did release an album in Japan in the early 80s. So
how none of those songs ever made it as like onto a soundtrack for Stallone's movie. Like, how many crappy Frank Stallone songs do we have?
That's right. Yeah.
Like we couldn't throw one from the Funker on like Over the Top. Like,
come on. We Hate School would be perfect in that movie. So Tom, let's go to you for our next bench player.
All right, number 8 on the bench is Big Sexy Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Another guy that kind of fits into the same role as the Big Show Paul White, where he's got comedic chops to him, but he also does have like a serious side because because of his big imposing stature. He has the ability to play like a kind of like evil villainy kind of guy, like
heavy
in roles like he was in The Punisher as one of those.
He's like a big Russian guy right?
Yeah, he's like a big Russian guy that gets beat up by the Punisher. And what I didn't know until way later in life was that he was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the live action film where he played Super Shredder, which I didn't know that, and I was like, "Damn, that's fucking sick."
But I don't think he had any lines, or like no, if he did have lines, they were dubbed in somebody else's voice.
Yeah, of course. It was more of like the action roles, but like I was saying earlier, he's got the comedic chops. Longest Yard, like we had mentioned earlier, I think he was of the wrestlers probably the most funny of the 4 or 5 guys that were in that film. He had the kind of comedic relief in that. He makes a brief appearance in Grandma's Boy, which is another
Sandler. Sandler produced
another Sandler film. Another very funny movie. A very underrated role that he had. He was in the Tim Robinson show Detroiters.
Yes.
Where he plays his father, and he was just a complete lunatic.
Big Hank.
Unbelievable. Probably my favorite episode of that show. So good. It's so funny.
Yeah. For those who haven't seen it, Detroiters is such a underrated. It ran 2 seasons on Comedy Central. It's on Netflix. You can pause the podcast and go watch the whole entire series if you choose to. But it is, they know that, like, it's established in the first episode that Tim's father, Big Hank, is in a mental institution. And they've taken over his company because his father's in a mental institution. There's a great line about like, it's in the first episode, and it's such a funny like setup. Tim and his partner, played by Sam Richardson, are in a restaurant, and there's a big meeting with another advertising agency and a big wig in Detroit, and they go over and introduce. one of the women at the table says, "Oh, you're Big Hank's son. How's Big Hank doing?" And Tim says, "Yeah, he's not doing so great. Like, he's still in the institution. He's got the mind of Bugs Bunny." And she says immediately, "Well, then tell him what's up, Doc, from me." And again, like the second season, like Big Hank, or like the end of the first season, Big Hank shows up. He gets out of the mental institution, and the whole episode is it's a roller coaster. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because that was on my notes for Kevin Nash. Needed to
Probably
be said.
my favorite role of his.
Yeah.
So I kind of remember Nash as a wrestler, and I didn't realize until kind of doing this that he has like a 30-second appearance in John Wick. He's the bodyguard that's standing outside. I believe he's a Russian, and he basically is like, "Thank you, Mr. Vic." Basically, Wick spares him his life, and he thanks him.
Oh, okay.
And that's like his big.
Okay.
But if refresh my memory, is he in The Longest Yard? Is he the prison guard that they switch the pills and he's taking the estrogen pills?
Mm.
Yeah,
and he's kind of like keeps crying and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. See, like that to me, like I remember him with the long black hair and being the roles that I kind of know him from. He's a little bit older, and he's got white hair now.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's just kind of like, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was Kevin Nash. Like, yeah, he was funny in The Longest Yard.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, I haven't. I'm looking him up on Google. Apparently, he was in Magic Mike, and I haven't seen that one. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't either.
Yeah. And I watched, and I got Playboy for the.
Just for the articles, right? Yeah, it's the articles and the dirty cigarette commercials, advertisements. All right, so Kevin Nash makes that list. Captain, next guy up on the bench.
The governor, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah,
I mean, how many? I mean, his resume is pretty damn impressive. Just besides what he did, like in the ring as a professional wrestler, man was a Navy SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes into professional wrestling, and man, what a 1987 he had in films.
Yeah,
Predator and The Running Man.
Yes, yeah,
two Schwarzenegger movies, but probably two of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies. I mean, I definitely put Running Man and Predator in my Schwarzenegger top 5.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for when we do that episode.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny, his character in The Running Man. You almost would kind of correlate to what was going on with him, like professionally, where he's supposed to be one of the hunters or whatever. I forget what they called them. That would go after the convicts, and they kind of retired him because he was getting older.
Yeah,
and he was doing like commentary, like he was doing stuff from the locker room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, spoiler alert, Schwarzenegger starts killing off all these guys, and it's like, all right, well, we ran out of hunters, like we got to call this guy out of retirement.
Yeah.
And in real life, he was kind of like in the same thing where like he kind of gotten a little bit old for the ring, and he was trying to find other stuff outside the ring to kind of like, so he kind of got into acting.
Yeah.
But then when he got into acting, it was like, well, we're going to put you in roles where we're going to take advantage of, like, he's like a big dude in The Running Man and Predator. Not only did they give him a gun, they gave him a gun that is like on the side of a helicopter.
Yeah,
that's what he carries around. Is his like this 200-pound friggin' like we can't just give him like a regular M16. We got to give it, like, nobody else in the army carries this.
Yeah, exactly. Gun. Yeah, it's the biggest. It's the biggest gun in, other than Arnold. I think that he's they got a lot of big guys in Predator, but still
that movie is just kind of like, for the most part, it's like, I think there's the ultimate. I think it's become like a meme or whatever. Is I'm gonna call him Apollo Creed. Why am I
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers and him like they're like slapping like they
Yes.
both hand and they're like
Yeah.
they're like both flexing at the same time and it's just like oh man like this is like an ad for steroids or whatever.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
he got in Predator. I think he got to show a little bit more of his like personality. He's like this kind of like a southern like, oh, that guy's dug in like an Alabama tick, you know, and he's and different, you know.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, you got time to bleed, you know, and he's chewing tobacco and he's spitting it and whatever. He does some other cameos in some other movies, and then he runs and wins as governor of Minnesota.
Well, he was
is now
before you get to now, he was, and before he was the governor, he was the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Oh, sorry.
At the early part of the 90s.
I went for career highlights.
Yes,
Nobody gives a shit about a guy winning a batting title in the minors. We're going to talk about what he did in the majors. All right.
All right, fair play. All right, okay, touche.
We go through everything. Like this episode's going to be like 3 hours
All
long.
right, okay. Yeah.
So, but now he's kind of like a little bit of a conspiracy theory. He's been on some episodes of that stuff, but he's very much like out there, open about, what goes on in the government. He does not hide from his political view. He's not shy about getting in front of a camera and telling people what he thinks and how it is and what it is and what it's going to be. It's almost kind of like anytime I see him, I kind of feel like he's doing a promo for he's doing a wrestling promo, and I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing at this. He's talking about people who are, right. killed in like Minnesota.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm like, I'm just waiting for somebody to run off camera and hit him with a steel chair.
Right.
Like when he's talking to the media. So
he very much, he's got cadence.
Definitely just, besides what he did in the ring, it just guy's lived a life, man. He's definitely, branched out into all different types of different things. So he's definitely deserving of being on our dream team.
Yeah. And I think like he's also, he did a line of like, he was in commercials, Miller Lite commercial, in the 80s when they were doing a lot of the less filling tastes great with celebrity cameos. He was part of that. So yeah, kind of a face that's synonymous with pro wrestling and being that crossover from the ring to an announcer, certainly got him. And also like the people at NBC loved him when he was doing Saturday Night's Main Event. And they were like, whoever you need to, like, we're going to help you like get roles in Hollywood. We're going to introduce you. And I think he knew Schwarzenegger from, their gym days, at some point in the 70s or 80s. So, there's that connection. And then obviously he kind of followed him into a couple films, and including a brief cameo in, what was it, Batman and Robin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in that one too. So, yeah.
I feel like that whole movie was like a brief, like I kind of want to forget about that movie.
yeah.
Especially the fact that I paid full price and didn't go to a matinee for that piece of shit.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So you double up on the next guy on the bench here. The last man on the bench.
The sixth man. Some people like to say wrestlers are sometimes bigger than life. This man is bigger than life.
Yes.
That's Andre the Giant. I can remember the matches when I was younger of him and Big John Studd, and I could never believe that they were like that. There were two human beings that were that big, both walking the earth and in the same place at the same time.
A lot.
Look, the stories of Andre, like in the ring, outside of the ring, are legendary. The amount of alcohol the man, because of his size and that like drinking a 30-pack did nothing to him. But he also, I mean, like used that the hype of the 80s wrestling like that. There are a lot of different characters that came along, and a lot of people took advantage of the notoriety and the fame and stuff. Andre definitely used that outside of the ring. Just a personal favorite of mine that just, it was a very big movie when it came out, and it just keeps on. It seems like every generation, whether it's just parents that just show it to their kids because of everything that's, it's kind of like a kid movie, but it's definitely got some adult humor in it. And it's got a lot of well-known actors in it. The Princess Bride. Yeah. And he plays one of the kidnappers of Princess Buttercup, played by Robin Wright. But he's kind of like the gentle giant.
Hello, lady.
So, hello, lady. He's unfortunately, that was like the one thing where he wasn't like just, I mean, obviously he played a guy, the giant, but he was allowed to act. He had a couple of moments where it wasn't like he just stood in the background. He had lines. He was an integral part of that movie. A lot of the other stuff he kind of did outside of was basically him just being Andre the Giant. But for the years that he was, that he was walking the earth, like it just never got boring, in my opinion. Like every time he got in the ring, it was always like, oh my God, that dude is huge. How did he get in the ring? Do they make cars? Do they make cars big enough? Like how does he get from one place to the other? Yeah. Obviously from some of the documentary that they did on him, you find out that like the dude couldn't sleep in like the beds that that McMahon and them were he was booking them in like Motel 6s, and he couldn't fit in the bed. He certainly couldn't. He had my favorite story is the fact that he couldn't use the toilet. Yeah. So they used to put newspaper down so that Andre could take a shit on the bed, and then they would leave. They would leave it for the cleaning people. Yeah. Like
scumbags.
As much as you would say that, like, oh, what a scumbag, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, come to think of it, like that guy was 7 foot. Like there are times where I've been in some shitty motels where I'm like, man, this toilet sucks. And I'm like, I'm 5'9". Like I could never imagine being 7'4" trying to like squat down and take a dump here. Like, but yeah, it's just, he had that, I forget what it's actually, but he did have like a disease or that where his made it was like a gland issue or something. That's why he was as big as he was, which led to him being famous, but unfortunately was also a main reason why he's no longer with us. Plus the the damage that unfortunately wrestlers seem to take, especially the guys in like the early years where safety precautions were not taken. That damage to his body plus whatever was going on with him. Unfortunately, we lost him a lot earlier than we should have. But we do have a lot of great footage and memories to kind of look back on him. So bigger than life in just all different ways, in my opinion. So
did you ever see, and I don't know if you would catch the episode, but like there's footage. I know there's still photos. He played Bigfoot in an episode of The $6 Million Man in the 70s. And he had like, they put him in like almost like a gorilla outfit.
No, I gotta look that up.
Yeah. And I think he was in, speaking of Arnold, once again, one of the Conan the Barbarian movies.
No, there's just a picture. There, he visited the set. There's that picture of him.
Oh, okay.
Wilt and Arnold, and then him and Wilt Chamberlain make Arnold look like
he's
like that. I'm standing next to somebody. Like,
and
it's like Arnold's like 6'4" and huge, and like, but he looks dwarfed compared to Wilt Chamberlain
and Andre.
And Andre.
Yeah. That works. So Andre's the last guy on our bench. have a heavy bench. By the way, if this was literally a basketball bench, it would need to be reinforced 12 times.
Shattered.
You have the largest athlete, the Big Show, Andre.
Would get seesaw catapulted into the crowd.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we do have it good that we have Big Show and Andre on the opposite side.
Opposite
So
side,
it
that's a
does
good
kinda
point,
even
yeah.
it out a little bit.
Yeah. Kevin Nash is going to make this look like a W very soon. All right, Tom, kick off the starting five for us.
All right, breaking into the top 5, brother.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go with the immortal one, Hulk Hogan. So his initial big role in Hollywood is the infamous role in Rocky III as Thunder Lips, going against Rocky.
Yes.
In, for whatever reason, there's a boxer versus wrestler match.
Charity.
But it seems I don't think he got the memo that this whole thing is
Listen, here,
maybe a little fixed.
I'm gonna just juxtapose. They probably could have benefited from sitting down with, the Unreal team over at WWE and had Triple H bring them aside and say, "Okay, this is what you're gonna do, this fucking thing and that fucking thing, and it's gonna look, you're gonna light up, and I just need the camera's gonna go right on your face." So yeah, they probably could have used a booker to go over it, but listen, you call it in the ring sometimes.
But so Hulk gets his feet wet with that initial role, and now this is where I think this is what gets him into the starting 5, and I think that this is what sets him apart from the other 6 people that we've mentioned thus far, is that he is the first person that we're mentioning that was a lead role in film and television.
Yes.
From the people that we've mentioned thus far. Now, when I go through these next few films that we will speak about, they might be giant pieces of shit, but he was the lead man.
Yes.
So, no holds barred. In my opinion, the greatest wrestling movie that's ever been made.
Okay. All right.
I mean, besides Vision Quest, or are we talking just like WWE movies?
Yeah. So, I mean,
grain of salt.
that could be a whole episode. That could be.
That was a whole episode. Remember that? It was again Dropkick Basement. We've covered this pro wrestling movies.
Like we could do like a watch along.
Oh yeah.
of No Holds Barred.
We could.
We should.
All right.
If we're doing a watch along, it's totally Roadhouse. By the way,
Yeah.
That's the first.
That's.
But so that's his soiree, I guess you would say, into being like the lead man as the Ripper. And he pretty much plays Hulk Hogan, but
in blue.
But then we get nothing but gems from there. You get Suburban Commando,
Great.
Mr. Nanny.
This is now we're this is Hogan as comedian, as action comedian too.
Stano with muscles.
Oh, okay.
3 Ninjas. And then
Oof.
he gets his own television show, Thunder in Paradise.
That's right.
Where the entire WCW roster is on speedboats for some reason.
Yep. Do you need a bad guy for this episode? Brutus Beefcake. Do you need a bad guy for this episode? Kevin Sullivan.
Listen,
Was it brought to you from the executive producers of Barbed Wire and Baywatch or something?
Pretty close.
It
Pretty
most
close.
likely was.
Yep.
But so first of all, as a child, seeing at the time my favorite wrestler as a movie star, I was like,
Of
"Whoa,
course. Yeah.
this is insane!" I think the first one I saw was Mr. Nanny, and dude, I've literally seen that movie probably 100 times.
Wow.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah. Right.
It's terrible.
Save
but
yourself.
It's awesome.
You have
kind of.
Yeah, you have like kid nostalgia for
you have those the rose-colored glasses on.
Yes.
And by no means I still think that probably his role in Rocky 3 is the best acting role that he had throughout his acting career. And he did all the reality shows and all that crap, but Hogan was the first wrestler to really be a leading man.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's
and use his I guess you could say, like, you're carrying the number one box office attraction in the ring to then try and do so outside the ring. It didn't work very well because he was not a particularly great actor, and he was not particularly cast in things that would make money. Like the films that he was cast in, it's not things that are ever going to be box office attractions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're meant to be
bombs. They're probably all bombs.
They're meant to be. You'll rent this on video or you buy the videotape. It's something the kids like because they like wrestling.
Exactly.
Just little boy Tom.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty much outside of No Holds Barred, it was like, how can we capitalize on Hulkamania?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, bring Hulkamania to the kids on the TV. He's doing the voice of himself when they do the cartoon too. The Rockin' Wrestling.
He wasn't doing his own voice.
Oh, he didn't do his own voice?
No. Do you know who?
I don't think I've ever even watched that.
All right. Again, I'm here with fun facts. The Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling cartoon, the voice of Hulk Hogan, not performed by Hulk Hogan, performed by Everybody Loves Raymond cast member Brad Garrett.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
I have to go back and watch that just so that I could see if I could pick up on his voice.
The voice of the Junkyard Dog was James Avery, who was Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe they couldn't even get those guys to do their own voiceovers.
It had something to do with the licensing was kind of a mess, and obviously these guys, like, they don't want to take them off the road because they're wrestling, 6 nights a week and twice on Sunday, and that's where they're making most of their money and so on and so forth. And the cartoon had gone in production way before it actually aired, so like some of these guys weren't with the company anymore, so it just became like, hire the actors, they're regular, and then we'll just film interstitial parts, and then you'll like splice them in. So like, he would participate in those, like those little like one-shot comedy things with like Mean Gene or with Lou Albano or something like that. But like the rest of the voice stuff was done by true voice actor. So,
well, regardless, I would say that Hulk Hogan, he was probably the first leading man of the squared circle. And so for that, I would say he deserves a starting spot in the Dream Team.
That makes sense. Captain, do you have any favorite Hulk Hogan straight to DVD or straight to video movies?
I'm sitting here and you guys are arguing about why they weren't doing their own voices on a kids cartoon, and I'm like, it's probably because both of them showed up with huge bags of blow.
Yeah,
and then somebody was just like, we can't have these idiots like doing a voiceover for a kids cartoon.
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
true.
80s. I mean, no, I mean, honestly, if you were gonna ask me like my favorite Hulk Hogan moment or whatever it is, it's Rocky 3.
Yeah,
Thunder Lips.
The Ultimate Man.
That was the first time that I ever seen Hulk. Like, that was before like I really kind of started watching wrestling and stuff. So when I saw him as being Hulk Hogan in the WWF, I was like, why is the guy from Rocky 3 like?
How did he get here?
He's a wrestler. Like, where everybody else was like, oh, this dude's a wrestler and he's in a movie. I'm kind of like, why is this actor being like they're hiring actors now? So, Yeah, so that's I probably just pissed off about 100 wrestling fans.
No.
But now
Yeah,
that
I mean, but he's just like a lot of the one. I mean, he's bigger. He's bigger than just being a wrestler. Like he dipped into movies, TV, pop culture, as much as a lot of the stuff now has kind of come out and people are kind of shitting on him or whatever. Like, dude, without Hulk Hogan, like everybody out, like some of the guys that are on this list and some guys that we're going to talk to, they don't. There are none of them.
True.
If it's not for Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, true. Tom, you had something to say there.
now, you would know this better than me. Wasn't his role in Rocky 3 pre WWF big Hulkamania boom?
Yes. Yeah.
So that when he was still in the AWA.
So here's the timeline of him as a wrestler. All this goes on. He's working for Vince Sr. In '81 in WWF. Actually has the feud with Andre, and they had the match at Shea Stadium in 1980. '81, he's still kind of upper mid-card heel. He's with Freddie Blassie, and he gets the call. Stallone had seen him on, I guess Saturday TV or somebody knew Terry Funk. I think it was actually Terry Funk, because Terry Funk had done Paradise Alley which was a wrestling movie with Stallone in the late 70s. And I think he called Terry Funk to do Rocky, or he said, "I love you, Funker, but I need somebody bigger." And Funk put him in touch with Hogan. So Hogan offers it says to Vince Sr., he says, "Hey, I'm getting this opportunity to go do a Hollywood movie with Sylvester Stallone. It's a Rocky movie. Can I go do it?" And Vince McMahon Sr. was like, "No, we don't need you going into movies. That's not our world. We don't need to cross over like that." They have an argument. He quits New York, does the Rocky movie, and then goes to the AWA. When the movie hit the theaters in '82, he's in the AWA starting off as a heel. The Rocky movie comes out. Immediately they're like, this guy needs to be pushed. Vern's like, we're getting more publicity, and this guy's a bigger star than anybody in my company right now. And I'm going to try and capitalize on this as much as possible. He turns him face. He starts that run in the AWA that got him back to WWF by '84.
So when Captain says, "Why is the guy from the Rocky movie on my wrestling show?"
Yeah,
he's kind of right.
Yeah, exactly. He was, again, for...
I like Tom. He validates my lack of knowledge and makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about.
For people that knew, yeah, obviously, Hogan was a name in territory wrestling, but it was more or less
he wasn't what he was.
Yeah. All right. Another solid choice, Captain. We're going back to you for the next guy on our bench. Another huge babyface for WWE, I should say.
I'm gonna do the best thing on an audio pod ever. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do a visual joke.
Oh, what? Yeah, I can't see you. Yeah. Yes.
Number 4 is John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he's huge. He works his way up. He's like the guy in WWF. He starts kind of off with some bit roles in movies. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. You kind of go through his filmography. There's a lot of small bit roles and kind of I think he's in a Transformers movie. He's in a Fast and the Furious spinoff, stuff like that. Things that are okay, those are natural bridges for somebody who's in a wrestler, like, all right, you're big, you're intimidating, go be in this action movie.
Yeah.
We'll take advantage of your athleticism, your size, blah, blah, blah. The first thing that I kind of knew of, because in all fairness, Cena's rise and notoriety in wrestling comes at a time where I really wasn't following wrestling that much, to be honest with you. I heard the name and I knew like the gimmick and stuff, but like I couldn't tell you much about him. I didn't know like his personality or anything. He's in the movie Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer movie, where he plays he's the boyfriend that she eventually breaks up with before she meets Bill Hader's character. And there's that kind of like there's a lot of self-deprecating jokes, and there may be hint of him maybe being homosexual, or at the very least that he's not performing in bed like you would imagine a guy like of his stature.
Okay.
And I was kind of very surprised that, like, you think like wrestling guys, they always kind of take like the action movie, like here he is in a comedy and he's doing these self-deprecating jokes, and I thought it was actually very refreshing, and I was kind of like, I like this guy. Like, this guy's got something that a lot of the other ones kind of don't. He's very good on talk shows. He pops up on Kimmel, on Fallon. I don't know if he's ever done Conan. I'm sure he probably has at some point. Or if you hear him on a podcast, he's entertaining. He's very, personality wise, he can get serious about certain subjects. He can joke around, very versatile. But now that his time in the WWF is over, he got the role as Peacemaker in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then eventually that led to him doing the Peacemaker TV series, which I don't know whether or not is getting picked up or not.
I don't know much about it. So,
well, they did like 3 seasons or 2 or 3 seasons of it, and I haven't heard about another season being made. So I don't know if that's in the. There's a lot of weird crap going on between like the Marvel stuff and, like what's going to be pursued in the future. Like,
oh, okay.
There's a lot of shakeups, I guess, with the people who are decision makers.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to continue or not, but Peacemaker is kind of like it's a good vehicle for him to he's still athletic enough, and it's an action type thing, but there is like a lot of the Marvel stuff, there is like that comedic side to moments in whether a movie or show. He was in the Barbie movie.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I'm like the one person on earth who didn't see the Barbie movie.
No, don't worry. I haven't seen it yet either.
I haven't either.
But yeah.
No. Yet though.
But yeah, like he's that type of guy. Like he kind of sees he saw the handwriting on the wall that his time in the WWE, like he didn't want to be doing it for to well past his prime. I know the last match that he did was huge news.
Yeah.
That he kind of did the I think he lost his last match, passing the baton on, which normally you would think like, okay, everybody knows it's his last match, they're gonna have him win it.
Yeah.
But he, which I thought was kind of cool of him. So yeah, he's definitely like, if you look at him from like the neck up now, he doesn't look like a wrestler. But he's still in shape. You know what I mean? Like, but like he's kind of like his face just does like, and he does not look like a guy that has spent 20 something years in the ring. He kind of looks like a goofy, like comedic character type. Like he would his face wise, like he looks like he could definitely play the idiot neighbor. like the clueless idiot neighbor. But then it's like it's kind of hard, like when they pan back and the dude's like 6 foot and he's freaking jacked, like nobody's gonna make fun of it, like because he's gonna rip your head off. So definitely one of those guys. I'm sure he will do more and more. I think he was in a Kevin Hart. That's kind of like the thing, like, were you in a Kevin Hart movie? Okay, well, you're going to be in 10 more Kevin Hart movies.
Yeah,
because once you're in one of them,
that makes sense.
Just ask some other people. So yeah, it's definitely someone who's already really made a name of himself, and I think continuing on will even become bigger and bigger. And in another 10 or 15 years, if we want to revisit this list, I'm sure he'll probably be higher than number 4.
Okay. Yeah. Now that you ticked all the boxes on this one. Also, he's got he does voiceover for like you hear his voice on a million commercials. Yeah. Holy crap! Like car commercials, and that hotels.
One from a few years ago where he's like the whole thing about America and loving Americans and like that ran like every commercial break in the NFL for the whole year. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
But also like I think he did like The Bowl or something, some animated movie that I'm sure they'll do sequels of, and he gets involved. See, I think what helps him, he adapted to this stuff. So like when he first started, the ones you were calling like small roles, those were all WWE studio movies. Those were all like crappy, like direct to DVD, The Marine or the whatever hostage thing. Like, so I guess they were saying like, we'll treat this like Hogan, where we're writing movies for you, and you're going to be, you're the action star. You got a couple funny lines, but you're the action star, and we're going to, kind of insulate you in that way and see if you take to it. And if you don't, hey, there'll always be another guy that'll come, and you'll go back to wrestling and so on and so forth. You're right. I think that little cameo or that little bit part in Trainwreck, all of a sudden it became like, whoa, this guy's got acting chops. Now, he's got comedy chops. Wrestling fans kind of knew that. And Tom, I think you could probably speak to this almost as much as I can. We were kind of sick of that John Cena, that like sort of like goofy, like, kind of not a toilet humor, but like just this sort of like make fun at the other guy's expense, cheap shot comedy. John Cena was like, it was eye rolling to like the regular wrestling fans, but now movie people were getting to see it.
Yeah. And I do think that like in the wrestling sense, because he was the top guy, he was always winning and all that stuff like that. When you have that almost like, and it was poorly written, I would say.
Sure.
That probably goes along with it. But like the captain said, I thought his role in Trainwreck was hilarious, and I think that propelled him to do. I don't know if either of you saw the movie Ricky Stenicki, but
I've heard good things.
They kind of wrote an entire movie around that kind of thought process, where let's have John Cena be this funny, like jack dude who is just constantly self-deprecating. Yeah. And it was a great movie. One of the hardest laughs I've ever had was one of the scenes where he's doing like parody songs. In an Atlantic City bar. Hilarious. But yeah, the one thing you said where you said from the face, he looks like the I don't know if you've ever seen the meme of him slowly turning into Jim Varney from the Ernest P. Worrell movie.
I can totally see it though.
But it is spot fucking on. He is essentially Ernest P. Worrell at this point.
Yeah. But he's going to make a ton of money. This is the thing. Like, again, you look at his IMDb and you're like, all right, he's done with wrestling. He's got like 9 projects that he's like getting ready to work on. He hosts, competition shows. he's been Cap, you mentioned it, like he's been good on talk shows. He has done Saturday Night Live. Like he's not going to suffer for work for a long time.
But you know what? Like a lot of the guys on our list, or guys who were at the height that like Cena was, like not a lot of, if they would have brought Hogan, like a Ricky Stenicki or a Trainwreck, would he have done it?
Yeah.
Would he have done a role where
Yeah.
they basically, like anybody could have wrote a thing where like, oh dude, like I'll write a role for Hogan where we're kind of making fun of him, or like we're gonna make jokes at his expense. But I don't know if Hogan would ever have done those. Like,
That doesn't work
the
for me,
fact that
brother.
Cena, you know, that the fact that Cena's like, all right, we'll look past that and be like,
Yeah.
hey, this is going to lead on to me doing bigger things.
Yeah.
You know, you got to, I give him credit. Like,
Yeah, no, he's very
Yeah,
smart.
not
because-
a lot of, not,
A lot of the guys that that are wrestlers going into the acting world, they can't see past the wrestling world. So they say, this audience is now going to look at me like I'm a fool.
Right.
And not as if you were playing a part in, you were a guy who's playing a part who's now in another thing playing a part.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like
Absolutely.
they look at it as, well, Hulk Hogan couldn't not fuck Amy Schumer, brother.
Yeah.
plus the thing, I guess it would be difficult to do something like, all right, I'm going to do this role in a movie where you're kind of you're either making fun of me or having a laugh at my expense, or you're having a laugh at the character's expense that I'm playing.
Yeah.
But then next week I got to get in the ring the week after this movie comes out, and I know some drunk asshole is going to yell something out about,
Yeah.
what's wrong, brother? You can't get a hard on anymore. Like,
Right,
you know,
right.
so I wonder if that shit goes into the back of their head. Like, yeah, that sounds really funny, but then I got to hear that
Yeah.
every week in every city that I fucking go to for the next, 35 weeks. Or
I'm
whatever.
a live performer. I can't be heckled. I got to protect the image, brother. This is all out of Hogan's voice.
Yeah, I can't do a good John Cena.
Yeah.
I can do this. That's it.
Yeah, this doesn't work for me, brother.
Cena.
All right, so Cena's a good choice. Next guy on our starting lineup, I will speak about him, and that is one Rowdy Piper. Listen, we mentioned before that the first wrestler that I saw like in the movies other than Hogan was Terry Funk. I don't know if that's true because They Live was came out in '87. Piper had left WWF at that time. Like right after WrestleMania 3, They Live came out that summer. And I think this is a role he surprised everybody that what is it, John Nada? He surprised everybody with how good he was in that role. And it's a cult classic. This for like a suspense science fiction horror movie sort of like mashup. It was decades before its time.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't made on a big budget. It was never meant to like, again, it's just, I think we've said this a few times, like with a lot of the movies we're discussing, it was never meant to make a big amount of money in the box office, but this is the rental movie. And this is the movie that like, they didn't promote it on TV. This was just like, if you knew that it was out there, or if you knew somebody that saw it, they would tell you like, you have to watch this movie. It's like, it's weird and it's good, and Roddy Piper's really good in it. And
it's also the fact that it's a John Carpenter movie.
Yes.
And Carpenter
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
like, he has his like, no matter like, he has his following.
he's got a
so
built-in audience.
No matter
Yeah.
what that guy does, there's always going to be like, it's almost like if only John Carpenter fans come out, this movie is going to make this amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It'll make
Right.
its budget back, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, and again, it gets referenced a lot in pop culture. It gets like the fight sequence is something that like people have like copied that fight sequence in other movies, in sketch comedy, in cartoons. Like, so it's obvious that like there are enough people that are tuned into what was done in They Live. So subsequently, Piper's got a lot of cachet when it comes to that. He made a lot of really low budget action, quasi comedy, farcical movies in the 80s, in the 90s. He comes back around and he plays the maniac in a couple episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it's basically like he's playing like a burnt out version of himself.
Oh my God.
But he is so good. Like, and this is, I give him credit, but it's also those maniacs, plural, that were working around him that are setting him up in that scenario, in all of those like scenes in the rest, the gang wrestles for the troops. And then what does he come back in, like the gang squashes their beefs episode? And it's just like, he's so like understated and perfect for getting involved with the Patty's Pub Gang. And it's like, this is like, he's found his like comedy home. Yeah, he's very funny on wrestling shows. He was great. Like, again, it's another guy that would show up on like game shows or like celebrity, like interacting with other celebrities and stuff like that. And like he could always like roll with the punches. But man, like Always Sunny in Philadelphia kind of like knew what they were getting. And it was, how do we get like, he's going to be in this character, but like there's a Roddy Piper like element to this that is just like, it's waiting to like explode. I think it was like the pyramid. I don't know if it was the gang squash of their beef. It might have been the pyramid scheme where they were, they were selling Invisalign and Frank and Dennis and Frank were doing something different, but Dee and Charlie were doing Invisalign, and they're trying to get people involved. And like they convinced the maniac to do it. He was like, "I'll do it." And he ends up being like the top. Like they saw him at the conference later. He was like the top salesman. And it's just like he brings his charm to it. Like you just see like that he's probably having a ball in this role because he gets to be funny. He gets to be like weird and menacing. And they are playing off it. Like they pull themselves to the side and they're like, I think he's out of his fucking mind. And it's like, yeah. Everybody in the wrestling world knows he's out of his mind too. So that's my Piper.
Have either of you ever seen the clip? So Bill Maher, I believe it, I think was on Channel 7. Bill Maher had a TV, where they used to have it was like he was
politically
in a chair,
incorrect, right?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And they always picked a topic every week or whatever. There was an episode where they were talking about the violence in wrestling, about how kids emulating it, and I think this is when people were making the videos of bum fights and all that other, and they were doing stupid shit like jumping off, obviously kids who were not trained to be wrestlers trying to do shit.
Backyard wrestlers like Tommy Tsunami.
Yeah. So of course, in the 4 people that they had, you have Roddy Piper, who is a professional wrestler, and then you have this bookworm type of guy who is like a child psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And he says that wrestling is fake.
Right. Yep.
And Piper fucking loses it, and he starts talking about all the injuries that he suffered from all the, and he drops his pants on to show some sort of scar that he had near his ass,
his broken hip.
And it's one of those that it's definitely a viral clip that will pop up on your Instagram or whatever. But it's just, I kind of remember what I do remember watching that show, because there were moments. Nothing was better than when somebody would feed it right back to Mar when he got very opinionated. But I just remember, I remember flipping on and going, wow, where did they dig Rodney Piper up? Because I hadn't seen him in a long time at this point. and he did not disappoint. He went right back to, it was like he was on Piper's. If he would have took a coconut and hit it over this guy's head like he did Snuka,
Yeah.
I would have never even flinched. I would have just been like, yeah, like that's,
It would have made sense.
like, what do you get? That's what you get when you talk back to Roddy Piper in the pit. Like, you're gonna get hit over the head with a coconut.
It comes down to it. So there, here we go. Piper on the old panel. Tom, give us number 2 as we get towards the end.
Number 2, this guy he's pierced some of the biggest movies of all time. The Animal, Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
He now I have to be 100% honest, and I have to say that I have not seen the majority of his acting work.
Okay.
I've never seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
I've never seen any of the Avengers. I've maybe seen 2 Marvel movies in my entire life.
Okay. All right.
So
way to stay away from it.
Familiar. Yeah. I
Do
really.
do you not get TBS or TNT on your cable package because they're constantly on?
Yeah.
I think he's
next you're going to say you've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
I haven't.
Oh boy. Oh.
What?
Oh.
Everybody's seen Shawshank.
I swear on my life I never.
Oh
have.
boy. Wow.
I have to. I know I'm supposed to.
Of course, yeah.
That's for another day.
That's right.
Well, here's the flip side of this. I've seen a lot of like Dave Bautista's movies and the roles. I knew he wasn't. I knew he was something that turned into an actor.
You didn't.
I thought he was a USC guy. I didn't know until I started. Like I didn't know he was a. I don't know him as a wrestler. Like I thought, because in Guardians of the like his character in Guardians of the Galaxy is like he basically walked, even though he's like painted or whatever to make up like he looks like an alien or something. He basically walks around the whole movie without a shirt on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, and it's just like, but he has like his character in the Guardians of the Galaxy plus the like in the Avengers. He's very dry because he's supposed to be like either a kind of like a borderline alien / like he doesn't really have a lot of emotions. So everything he's kind of like the comic relief because he delivers like all of his shit like just
deadpan,
dry and robotic and deadpan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hilarious. There are moments though where like the other side, like the rage side of him does kind of like when they're meeting the bad guy Thanos and stuff, and it's almost kind of like he flips that. They allow him to flip that switch and be like, he's now he's going to be like probably closer to like what he was in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is great. Like there's a scene where they're on the spaceship. 2 of the characters are kind of arguing over who is going to be in charge, and he's kind of just like sitting there like eating some sort of like berry, and he's just kind of very deadpan, very like the 2 of you should fight it out to the death to see who's in charge.
Yeah.
And it's just like and the whole time like while they're going back, like he just keeps on delivering these like no, seriously, like would you like to use my sword? You should stab him if you really want to show you like it's but that's like pretty much his role in the movies. And I think he was in another like is it The Punisher or something like that? He's now that kind of like his time in Marvel is over, like his character, like the Guardians of the Galaxy are kind of done. They're not really. He's now moved on to other movies that I have yet to see, but he definitely shows off in those movies that like he doesn't look ridiculous like walking around with no shirt on, and 2 he kind of shows off that he has a bit of a that he can be a character. He can be someone that I don't know if you're going to build a whole like if you build a whole movie around him, I don't know how well it's going to do, but he's definitely like if you want to put him in the supporting cast, he'll hold his own and he'll have moments that he shines. But I don't. Maybe you guys can fill me a little bit more about his what he was like in the ring, like what was his persona in the ring.
I mean, he was kind of the killer. He started out as in a group with Triple H and Ric Flair and Randy Orton, and he was like the young gun in that, but he was the muscle. He was the guy to come in and be the killer, and he kind of just carried that on for the Animal.
Yeah.
He was, the big strong guy. Didn't speak much. Didn't really need to for the role that he was playing. And I think that kind of carried into, from what you're saying, his first venture into acting anyway.
Yeah.
But I do think that he's come into his own. So the things that I have seen, if you've seen Glass Onion, the Knives Out.
He's in that.
The second to the Knives Out, which he played kind of just like a Jack dickhead kind of role. But he was very good in it in a supporting cast. But the one movie that kind of surprised me, and I didn't think it was great, but I thought that he did a very good job in, was the Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. Where he's pretty much the lead in that movie. And I thought he did a very good job in that. And it was one of the only M. Night Shyamalan movies since The Sixth Sense that I was able to get through the whole thing. So that was a plus for sure.
Good. Yeah. I know that he's been getting more prominent stuff. It's not just him in an ensemble cast, and it's him, showing off a leading man or being like, it's a buddy movie. I think he did one with Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, and he just had one come out with fucking Aquaman.
Oh, Momoa. Okay.
Yeah.
I
so
know. I know. I think he's got a. I never saw the original, so I never bothered to watch the remake. But he has like a character in the Dune movies.
Yeah, so obviously, like he can be put into a franchise movie, and it makes sense because he has, as you both said, there's a presence to him. He does the eye test, as they always say. He stands out, but then there's a little bit of a subtle humor to it. In his wrestling days, Tom, I think like he was funnier when he wasn't trying to be funny.
Yes.
He would unintentionally like make you laugh because he was like not self-aware. And like we were just saying about Cena before, it's like, well, I really wouldn't think that he'd be I think he would be the type of person coming from his wrestling days that would be like, I just want to be the bad guy in this movie, or I just want to be like the tough guy, or, make me a superhero or whatever. And it's pleasant to hear that, like, not only did he do more comedy and like add a comedic element to it that you never really saw in his wrestling days, but also to elevate that, and for casting directors and directors to be like, I need him to be like the lead in a movie. It's like mind blowing. It's like I'm more proud of him as like a burgeoning actor than I was ever a fan of him in the ring. I thought he stunk.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of him in the ring. And I also think that him getting into the wrestling business at a later age and realizing this is a show that I'm a part of, as opposed to being, this is a show about me.
Yeah, of course.
Helped him in the acting world.
Right.
Where it may have hurt other guys. Where everything has to be about me, as opposed to, if I'm part of a bigger production, this will benefit me in the long run.
Yes,
because you have to assume that the paychecks that Batista's getting from the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy are bigger than any of the checks that Hulk Hogan ever got from wrestling.
Yeah, sorry, Terry.
just from a financial standpoint.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of this as a business,
absolutely.
That he had the mind for it more so than the ability. And I think the ability came later.
Sure.
Through, having these small roles, and now
building it up
as an older guy who's probably close to his 60s.
He could
now,
be, yeah.
Is really coming into like the prominence of his acting career.
Yeah, his post wrestling career for sure. That only.
I do remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do remember an interview years ago that Artie Lang gave about the residual checks that he would get from his brief role in the movie The Elf, where he played he said that, and basically between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that movie would play so much that he would get a check like in January, that he was like, I used to go nuts for people for Christmas knowing I had this residual check coming to me. So since the Guardian, like between the Guardian of the Galaxy and the Avenger movies that are constantly being run on basic hit, like I'm sure Batista is making like more money than, I would almost say probably making more money just from the Marvel shit than he did probably in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Because I mean, those movies grossed over $1 billion each.
Monster movies.
So
yeah, absolutely. So let's wrap this up. Obviously, we've got the captain of our team, and I don't think this is any surprise that Uncle Dwayne the Rock Johnson, is.
I thought we were going with George the Animal Steel.
Maybe.
I was gonna eat a belt buckle.
Yeah,
right
eat
here.
eat a belt buckle as a turnbuckle. No
turnbuckle, whatever.
No, I think it's consensus that The Rock is the most prominent guy that's ever left the squared circle and gone to Hollywood. He's had a 25-year career, and it started hot. He did those mummy movies. They started to write stuff directly for him. Again, the same sort of path where he's doing like a remake of Walking Tall, and it's this kick-ass big time action movie. He gets a couple funny lines in it. He's in the one with Stifler that Rundown. I can't think that. Is it The Rundown?
Yeah.
And and it's just it's right there. It sort of like falls off a table after a little while. He does the Tooth Fairy. He starts to do a little bit of like show a little bit of kids movie comedy stuff. Then we're building back up. We've got Rampage. We've got Southland Tales, which was a flop. You got so many like mid 2000s, late 2000s like Rocky action movies that were released as big. San Andreas, I remember like seeing the trailer for San Andreas like a year in advance, and then being like, this is going to be a big blockbuster, blah blah blah. And he's done the superhero movies too. He's done comedy. He's done action. He just got nominated for, he's in a Golden Globe nominated movie, The Smashing Machine Now.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He's a go-to when it comes to like, hey, do we need a celebrity to like introduce something or show up at the Grammys or show up at a NFL game or whatever it is and like represent Hollywood and all this stuff. It's not just the catchphrases. It's not just the old shtick that he did in the ring. He's developed an industry unto itself just for him. He's a global sensation, and it all came from wrestling in Memphis. And that night that I saw him debut in Madison Square Garden, I feel like I gave him the career because I was like, yeah, let's go, Rocky Maivia. So it was my cheer in the next to last row at the top of Madison Square Garden that night that propelled the man to a lucrative $1 billion box office return. I can't tell you if I have a favorite Rocky movie. I call him Rocky because he's Rocky. Maybe Rampage, just because I thought it was great that they were making a movie out of the video game Rampage.
Just if I could interject, just like the John Cena role, where you're like, oh, wow, like the small role that he played in The Other Guys,
Yes.
where him and Samuel Jackson play like and you're sitting
The
there
hero
watching that
cops.
movie thinking like the hero cops, like they're gonna and the scene where they just decide to jump off the building thinking they were invincible, and then like cut to the next scene and they're at their funerals.
It's the best.
I can't believe like both Samuel Jackson and The Rock signed up. Like they're only in it for the first 10 minutes, but it almost like it's one of those things where like if I ever had the chance to meet The Rock, that would be the thing I would talk. I would be like, dude, the fact that you were gutsy enough to take that role, like totally, like whatever you did before that I used to like, I don't get on him anymore because I know that like he's capable of doing like cool stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll be perfect. And you guys can, you add your. I found him utterly annoying as a wrestler.
Oh, heel.
I hated the eyebrow thing, the what the Rock is cooking, all that shit. It was, I equate it to the movie The Mask. I like Jim Carrey, and then that summer, if I had one more person come up to me going smoking, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Yeah,
like stop thinking you're the first person to yell what The Rock is cooking in like a public place or like because I told you so or whatever. Like all his line. I honestly I wouldn't watch him in the ring because he was the whole thing was like annoying.
Wow.
But then like I've caught some of his movies and the remake of Walking Tall I actually kind of like. He's believable like when he does all these action. He's in the Fast and the Furious and then they made a spin off of that. He's got that like Schwarzenegger type of thing, but obviously he speaks better English than Schwarzenegger did, but he's got that where like when he jumps off a building and lands on the roof of a car, you're like, if anyone's going to do it, it's probably The Rock because he's big.
I'm buying this. Yeah.
And he's got that thing of like he can do the catchphrases. He can, from doing the spots in the ring, like, he has that timing in his movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd be almost interested to watch the Smashing Machine, because I've heard actually that he's very good. He was nominated for a Golden Globe,
right?
So I'd be interested to see it, but like, I'm not like totally averse to like if somebody's like, oh, I want to watch this. Like, I think he did a Christmas movie. I think it was called like Red One or something.
Yeah.
Which wasn't bad. Like where Santa's like they have like a secret service for Santa and Santa's missing, and The Rock is like one of the Secret Service guys trying to find him. Type thing. It was a Christmas movie, you know what I mean? Like, but it was like it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'm really not gonna. I don't know if I'm really gonna turn around and watch any of the him and Kevin Hart movies that seem to come out every 6 months.
Right.
But yeah, like he's I find him more enjoyable as an actor than I found him kind of annoying in the ring, but that's just my opinion.
No, you're not alone. I knew there were some people. Tom, what say you on the acting career of Dwayne The Rock?
Well, it all started with one of my favorite sitcoms of all time, That 70s Show.
Oh yeah, that's
where
right.
he played his father, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Another TV show that I thought he did a really good job in was Ballers on HBO. I thought
that's right. Yes.
I thought that was a solid show. But my favorite Rocky vehicle of all time is the Michael Bay picture Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, right?
One of the most unintentionally funny movies
based on a true story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my. What, like a top 10 movie of all time for me. That movie is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be. Well, I guess it is meant. I don't know, but unbelievable. That was like the first time that I saw him act in something where I was like, all right,
He gets it. Yeah.
I think he can do it, because everything else is kind of, I don't know. It's just not up my alley where it's, the kids movie or a superhero movie or something like that. That's just not like my forte.
Yeah.
But that one, there was I don't remember the name of the movie, but it wasn't terrible. He was like the coach of like a juvenile detention center football team.
Oh yeah.
Gridiron Gang?
That one wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad.
I kind of like that one. But yeah, I mean, he went from being the most electrifying man in sports entertainment to being the biggest box office draw in the world.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can argue.
Something worked out, and he's another guy. You look at his IMDb, he's got all of this other stuff that he's got lined up. He doesn't stop working.
And he's a producer on a million things.
Yeah. Including the two-season sitcom, Young Rock. Which is low-key one of the funniest things that I've ever seen. Again, not for the reasons it should be, just for some of the bad portrayals.
and I was witness to a halftime performance by his girlfriend or wife, because he's trying to use his fame to get her. She's in a musical group.
Oh, okay.
They performed at the halftime of the Barcelona FC Red Bull.
Oh, great!
At Red Bull Arena. So I got to see I was from a distance. I did get to see The Rock live in person.
Oh, okay. Wow,
nice.
he was there.
I forgave him for wearing red pants.
Good. All right.
Please do me a favor, Mike. When you do the Facebook where you put the photos.
Yes.
You have to find the picture. I think it's called like Secret Identity is the name of the movie, where him and Kevin Hart were like friends in high school, and he was fat.
Yes.
And then he becomes like the Secret Service. You got to get a picture of him in the prosthetics as a fat kid in high school.
All right.
That has to be up on the.
I'm making a note of it now. Rock, Kevin Hart, fat picture. Okay. Very good. All right. I mean, we could briefly I don't want to waste a lot of time with honorable mentions. If there was anybody everybody just go around like one person that was on your list that didn't make the team. Cap, I'll start with you.
I had put down Jerry Lawler, the King. Okay. Just for what he did in the ring, the fact we kind of briefly discussed. There might have been guys before, but like he was an announcer for the WWE through some of the biggest moments, the highest peaks you can kind of say in it. To the fact that a lot of people I think knew him just by being a ring announcer and didn't realize that he was an actual wrestler at one
King
time.
Of Memphis.
Plus, the whole thing with him and Andy Kaufman that was featured in Man on the Moon, but like the fact that he did that in real life, like went on the Letterman show. I thought like just to kind of deserved like a mention, the fact that he crossed over into like a pop culture type of, Andy Kaufman was like wacky as shit, and we could go on and on about it, but like, I just thought he was worth mentioning.
Okay.
For what he did.
Tom, you got anybody?
Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Hilarious in that short sequence in MacGruber, which
everybody loves talking about that. Yeah.
Unbelievably underrated movie. And then he was also in like the last two Terrifier movies. He's branching off into some horror stuff. Yeah. I actually like my whole list was just our list out of order.
Okay, good.
So right. I had two or three people, Jericho being one of them.
Okay, very good.
Jericho also has a really cool spot in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot where he plays a Klansman.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh,
that actually role. Sounds kind of right up his alley.
The one that I'll mention, I believe it's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but it's a DVD extra in the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Dallas Page's wife, Kimberly Page, the head cheerleader for the Nitro Girls. There's a speed dating sequence where all the guys and Steve Carell are in speed dating, and Kimberly Page happens to be in one, and in the deleted scene, her tit does pop out of her shirt. And I just needed to mention that because we didn't have any women on this list, and I don't know if that's a great representation, but that was memorable.
I think I've seen that.
Kimberly Page's titty popping out.
I thought you were going to tell me that she's Gina.
No. We
don't have any women on this list.
I know.
So let's see some nipple.
Yeah, the one whose tit popped out in that deleted scene.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah, that's really against that's against type for me. But that's how we're gonna end the episode. and that really puts a spike right through this. So there's our dream team of pro wrestlers as Hollywood actors in film and TV and commercial, whatever it may be. We want to thank Tom Schultz for
thank you guys for having me.
Participating. And
we don't have a live studio audience. So I'm just trying to give you a round of applause.
Mostly just the two of us clapping in the background. So Tom, thank you very much. As we mentioned before, Dropkick Basement airs. New episodes are every other Monday on the Off the Cuff Stuff Network. Same vehicle that this show comes out on. So we'll look forward to your wrestling insight on future episodes, and you help keep me right on track when it comes to the topics that we discuss. So on my behalf, Mike Madden, the captain, Michael Corby on his side, we hope you guys have a great night, and we will check you later.
Bye, Mike.
She thought she'd give me a try. I